Hello and welcome back to another video demo on RPA testing in Studio. By the end of this video, we'll know how to create test cases that validate the output of activities by using the verify expression with operator and verify control attribute activities, and use the given, when, and then sequence containers to verify the test activities in Studio. This demo includes verification and testing related activities present in Studio. We will see how we can verify the output of the given activity by using these verification activities. For this demo, we have some pre-built test cases to perform the verification. We are going to use two different applications, Acme System 1 and Acme System 3. To maintain the modularity and granularity of the code, we have fragmented the entire process into smaller workflows. Let's begin by clicking on the Acme System 1 folder to see the XAML files designed to automate the application Acme System 1. Similarly, click on the Acme System 3 folder to see the XAML files associated with the application Acme System 3. Now, for this demo, some of the test cases are already developed and placed inside the Test Cases folder. Let's click to expand the folder. Here, each of the folders has test cases associated with the application. We can click the Acme System 1 folder. Good. We can see here that we have two folders available, Functional and Unit Test. Let's expand the Unit Test folder. Great, we have test cases available here. The tc_acme system1 login.xaml test case checks if the robot login was successful and that it was able to mark the test case as pass or failed. A test case follows a behavior-driven development (BDD) structure and contains three sequences: given, when, and then. The workflow under the test is invoked within the when sequence. It automatically imports the arguments from the workflow. To view or add more arguments, click the Import Arguments button part on the Invoke Workflow File activity. In this test case, we are checking the login of the Acme application, which doesn't require any prerequisites. Hence, the Given section is empty. Let's move to the Then section. To verify whether the robot can log in successfully or not and mark this test case as pass or failed, the verify control attribute is used. This attribute verifies the output of a given activity by asserting it in relation to a given expression. The activities tested with this activity must be inserted in the body of the activity, and an expression and operator must be supplied in their respective property fields. Now, let's quickly look into the properties of verify control attribute. Expression property is the expression against which you want to verify the output of the activity. Let's set this as dashboard. In the operator property, we'll find a drop-down list containing all the possible mathematical operators you can use to verify the output of the activity. Let's select equality in this case. Now, let's set the take screenshot if failed property as true so that the robot can take a screenshot of the target process if the verification has failed. Now, in this test case, if the verification is a pass, then we don't need to take the screenshot of the target process. Let's set the take screenshot if succeeded property as false. Let's check the message section. We can notice two properties here. Alternative verification title specifies an alternative display name. This property overrides the default display name, which is the verification activity name that shows up in Orchestrator. Output message format specifies the format of the output message. Great, all looks good. Let's run this test case. The Chrome browser with the Acme System login page will open. The robot will enter the email and password. Click on the Login button. If the login is successful, you can see the dashboard of Acme website. Now the verification activity will verify the attributes of this website, and after the verification, mark this test case as pass or failed. Let's check the status of the test case. Let's open the output panel. The messages highlighted in green represent that the test case has passed. Great! Let's close this test case and move to another test case. Let's open tc_filter_extracted_data.xaml test case. Here, the test case will verify the number of rows the robot filtered from the data table against the user row count for the same data table with certain criteria. Here again, we'll find similar containers: given, when, and then. To run the filter extracted data.xaml, there are certain criteria where it expects a data table with a filtering option. For the data table, we are reading an Excel workitem.xlsx, which is present in the project folder. A filter criterion is set into the argument panel with the default value workitem5. Let's open the workitems.xls from the project panel. You can see in the file there are 5 columns: WIID, description, type, status, and date. Let's filter this data table by the type WI5 and set the status as open. And we can see that there are no associated rows with this criterion. Now, close the file and come back to Studio. Let's focus on the Then section. Here, an input dialog box is used by the robot to ask the user how many rows the open work item for work item 5 there in the present Excel. Since we have already seen that there were no rows available, we're going to set it to 0 when the robot asks for manual row count. Let's move to the Verify Expression with Operator attribute. This activity will mark this test case as pass or failed based on the manual row count and the filtered row count by the robot. The property panel of Verify Expression with Operator attribute contains similar fields as we've previously explored for the Verify Control attribute. Okay, let's run this file now. Here we go. We are now requested to enter the number of data rows for open work item, WI5. Let's enter 0 because we saw in the Excel file that there were none of the rows associated with this criterion. Click OK. Let's see the output in the Output panel. Great! Since the verification has passed, the message is highlighted in green. This concludes our demo for doing a basic run of test cases with Studio. As a quick recap, a test case follows a behavior-driven development (BDD) structure and contains 3 sequences: given, when, and then. We can use verify activities in Studio to validate the outcome of related activities. After running a project or specific file, we can check the result of verify activities within the Output panel. For activities tested with Verify Control attribute activity, what property values must be supplied in their respective property fields? Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy automation!